Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the comments and likes. Really having a good time with this. Any questions you might have or anything, just put them in the comments section. I'll try to get to them. I'm going to cover quite a bit in this video, but the main thing I wanted to cover, I wanted to do a 90-day critique of F2F, what I liked and what I didn't like. And I've actually been with F2F for, I think it's 15 weeks is what I discovered there, and went over the 90-day mark a little bit, but I'm going to do it now and let you guys know what I feel about F2F and how it's worked out for me. So if you've seen the videos going back to when I was at Mercer, you knew I wasn't happy at Mercer. Just felt like I was stuck. Their load board just wasn't what I liked, and I was on the flatbed side, and I wanted to, more freedom. I live in Texas. I wanted to, be able to do loads in Texas when I wanted to be able to do my runs out west when I wanted to. And with Mercer, those lanes just weren't available to me, and when they were, it was heavy and cheap, not what I wanted at all. So I found F2F, and I've been over here for 15 weeks now, and I'll start off with my complaints first, since there really aren't very many. I've had a great time since I've been here. I've been able to go where I wanted, when I wanted, and get decent rates. I've switched from flatbed to doing power only. Really enjoying the power only thing. Obviously it's not for everybody. You do a little bit of everything when you're doing power only. Fortunately, I have flatbed equipment, which opens up a lot more things I can do on the power only side. And I might make a video about that later, the things you need there. But so the negatives that I've found since I've been with F2F are very few, very, very few. And on these, they're not really negative. They're things that I would change. I would say the most negative thing about being here is, and this has only happened to me a few times, is trying to get things done after hours. F2F is out in Chattanooga, and of course they're on Eastern time. So when you're advocate at F2F, they call them advocates. Basically, other places they might call them dispatchers, but they don't dispatch you. They don't do nothing but sign paperwork for you or answer your questions. So, once the advocates leave, I think you're left with basically one person up there. I don't really know. Every time I've had to call in after hours, I get the same person. So I'm assuming it's one person. And just when they're closing at 4, it's still early out on the West Coast. It's still fairly early, 3 o'clock in Texas. So it really puts a hamper on what you want to do. And once you run into that trouble one time, and you're trying to book a load and it's 3 o'clock in the evening, you're like, man, I really don't want to wait till tomorrow. And it gives you a bad feeling about trying to get that load booked, because when you talk to that agent, they send you the rate con. Normally when you send that rate con over to F2F, that thing is signed and back to that agent in 10 minutes, and no worries. After 3 or 4, it just kind of falls through the crack. You don't know if it's going to take 30 minutes or an hour, and by that time the agent might already be gone. And depending on the situation, you don't want a deadhead, all that. You understand. So that's the most negative thing that I can think of with F2F, and really is the only complaint that I have at being with F2F. These other ones are just suggestions. They pay once a week. Once you turn in your last load on Friday, you get paid for that the next Friday. I really think that's an outdated system with the way loads are factored today. If you have your own authority, you can really, if you get that load factored, you can get that load right, that pay right then. Even though, 80% of these agents have quick pay. They charge you 2 or 3%, and they'll pay you themselves within a couple of days. So getting paid once a week, I think, is outdated. I think that can be, improved on. But I don't own the company. I really, at that top end, I don't know how those things work, if it costs some money to do that or not. Fuel discounts, if you use F2F's fuel card, you don't really get that big of a discount. Obviously, that can, it seems like that would be really easy to fix and improve. Now, at F2F, you get 80% of the pay. And it sounds really good, and it is. It's better than most. But when F2F takes their 20%, they're also taking 20% of your fuel surcharge. I don't think that's right. Thinking about how the things work, right off the bat, I say I don't think that's right. But it's still 20%. If I was, if you were driving a van and you were back at Landstar, you'd be giving up 35%, and adding that little bit of fuel charge back on there really wouldn't make that huge of a difference, I guess, depending on how much you're driving. But yeah, it seems like they could take 20% and give us our fuel surcharge, but there again, it's still a good deal to me. And that's really it for the negatives for F2F. It's awesome, and my time here has been great. I've been able to get the lanes that I wanted and do the things that I've wanted to do. And that's the freedom. Freedom is everything to me. If I wasn't, if you give me the choice between great pay and freedom, I'd want my time with my family. I would accept less pay to spend more quality time at home. Quality of life is a big thing. F2F, if you're watching this, you probably know you can get your loads from anywhere. I get mine from load boards. I don't have a trailer, and I don't plan on getting one in the near future. I've just gotten to where I really like not having to worry about the trailer, not having to worry about maintenance or rental or all that good stuff. Loads are a little bit different than you would normally get a lot of time, but we'll do that in another video. And this is a big one here, no hassling. Since I've been with F2F, nobody has called me to say, why aren't you doing this? What are you doing? And when I call in, I immediately get somebody. Even if it's after hours, I can call in and I'm connected with somebody pretty quick. Compared to Landstar, you might be waiting on hold hour and a half. Just so many people over there. But the really good customer service, and they treat you the right way. They treat you with respect. Every time I've dealt with them, I've been treated with respect, and I appreciate that. They give you what they call an advocate. In other places they might call them a dispatcher or something like that. But I switched advocates after a while. The first one they gave me, I won't say anything bad about him. I don't know what he had going on up there, but he and I just didn't think he was doing his job quick enough. I wasn't sure what was going on up there, and he wasn't filling me in lots of time. And when I'd ask him to include me in on emails, he wasn't doing it. So I called up there, they switched me, got another advocate, and man, she is awesome. So little speed bump there. He wasn't a bad person. He did a fairly good job, but I thought he could have done it faster, so that's why I switched. So I'll talk about the inspections when we get down here, comparing it to Landstar, because that's a biggie. So as far as F2F, conclusion with F2F, it has been awesome. Even when I had my accident, man, they were there. They were on the phone with me, calling, texting, letting me know, that what they could do for me and help me out a great deal. So very much appreciated. Company is run really well. The people that work there are really, really helpful, and I couldn't ask for a better company to be with, especially after a couple of nightmares that I was with